What's up YouTube, Alex here. Today I'm going to talk about goals, and I have a lot that I want to say, so this video is probably going to be pretty lengthy. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so there's a lot of different things that you need to remember when you set a goal. And I want to cover all of those in this video because everybody has certain things that they want to accomplish in life, and that's what I want to cover right now, is how you can actually go about accomplishing those things. So the first thing you need to keep in mind when setting a goal is to make it feasible, to start small. If you want to lose 50 pounds in a year, that sounds like a lot of weight, so you start small. Start 2 pounds this month and you gradually raise it up. You do 2 pounds a month, and then within 6 months you want to lose 25 pounds, which if you think about it, 2 pounds a month over a 12-month period is 24 pounds. You're halfway there just losing 2 pounds a month. So that's a good goal to have, a good way to start. If you want to start doing that, then you need to start changing your daily routine, your daily ritual, if you will. You need to start allotting yourself time to work towards this goal. And let's say you want to lose 2 pounds a month. A good way to start is maybe getting 3,000 steps a day. And you figure just doing normal walking, you're probably going to get 2,000 steps a day, so that means you only have about 1,000 extra steps a day that you have to get. That's not really a lot of steps, especially considering the fact that you're just going to be walking. It's not like you're going to be running or jogging or anything, it's just walking. Because you can lose quite a bit of weight from just walking. Maybe it takes you 10 minutes a day to walk those extra 1,000 steps. 10 minutes a day is really not that much time that you can allot yourself. If you really think about all the things that you do in a day, you really can realize that you waste a lot of time in the day on distractions. On stuff like YouTube, music, TV shows, movies, books, video games, all these different distractions out there. There are good uses for all of these things, and there are bad uses for all of these things. Obviously, a bad use of YouTube would be looking up cat videos. Spending 5 hours a day watching cat videos. What are you gaining for yourself doing that? Now, I love cat videos as much as the next person, but if I were to spend 5 hours a day watching cat videos, I would have a problem. So let's say you just need to allot yourself 10 minutes further in a day and you spend 5 hours a day watching cat videos on YouTube. What do you do to get those 10 minutes? Well, it's pretty simple. You can just take 10 minutes out of those 5 hours. Then you have 4 hours and 50 minutes watching cat videos, and that's still a lot of time. So 10 minutes really isn't that long. If you think about all of the distractions that we have, it's really crazy. We live in a very noisy world. There's a lot going on around us and a lot that can pull our attention. But what we need to do is we need to have a vision. If we want to lose 50 pounds in a year, and in 2 or 3 years we want to be 150 pounds, that is a vision. And when you have a vision, you have to strengthen it. You have to start working on goal setting and getting better at achieving the goals that you set for yourself, because that is a skill. And it's a very important skill to have. When you start achieving more goals, the voice that says I can't do it starts to get quieter and quieter and quieter and quieter, and it gets shut out by the voice that says I can do it. And that takes quite a while to get to that point. But if you start working on it today, then you'll start achieving those goals. And the most important thing to realize is that the future starts with your routine today. What you're doing right now determines where you're going to be in a year. Everything you do today determines what life is going to be like for you in a year. If you're not taking 10 minutes a day walking an extra 1,000 steps on top of what you already walk, then you're probably not going to lose your 50 pounds in the year. And you're probably going to stay the same weight that you are. So what you really need to do is you need to look at your day and realize where your time is that you're not using to its fullest extent, and take that time out, pull it out, and put in that time slot something more useful, like walking 1,000 steps. So you can pull a little bit of time out of distractions like TV or YouTube, and you can put in your time for walking right there. It takes a little bit of willpower to be able to do that, and it takes a little bit of inner work to be able to get the willpower to be able to do that. But the great news is if you are proactive, then you can use your proactiveness to fuel you into doing that. And you don't even have to be that proactive, just a little bit proactive, because we're talking about 10 minutes in a day here. It's not that proactive. And of course, this applies for any other goal too. If you want to learn how to play guitar, starting with 10 minutes a day is great. If you want to learn a new language, starting with 10 minutes a day is great. If you're playing guitar and you allot yourself 10 minutes a day to play the guitar, then you've only played 2.5 songs in 10 minutes, and you're not growing anymore, then you need to evolve yourself, evolve the time you're spending, and spend more time doing more complex things. It can't just be static, it needs to be a process, it needs to be step after step after step after step. You start with 1,000 steps a day, in a few months you're at 3,000 steps. In a few months after that, you're at 6,000 steps, and you keep going up the ladder. You keep going up. That's the important thing. You can't stay in one place. If you're doing the same thing every day and not growing, then your body is going to adapt to the routine that you're doing, and nothing is going to come out of it. So once you get to that point, then you can push yourself. Just don't lose track of where you are at. Monitor yourself daily. Take notes, journal, decide what steps need to be taken next. If you don't notice where you are right now, then you're not going to think you're growing, and you're going to get demoralized, and you're going to fall off track. If you're losing 2 pounds a month, that's fantastic. You are doing something. Because if you weren't walking those extra 1,000 steps, maybe instead of losing 2 pounds, you'd actually gain 2 pounds. At that point, it's actually a 4-pound difference, which is a pretty decent amount. 2 pounds isn't much on either side, but when you get to 4 pounds and you double that, that is quite a bit of a difference. So you got to think about it that way, and you got to keep track. It's not as hard as it seems to stay on track. You got to focus, you got to visualize your future outcome. You got to keep your vision in your head, your dream, your goal. You got to keep it in your head at all times, or at least for those 10 minutes that you're walking every day. If you spend more time visualizing, then you'll spend more time being proactive. So if you spend an hour visualizing your 50-pound loss in a year, then you're going to spend more time exercising and eating healthy, and you're going to put more energy into it because you are putting the energy into visualizing what it's going to look like for you to be healthy. There are a lot of things that seem important but are distractions. For example, if you're like me and you like marketing, you like doing Twitter and social media, then you start to think that that is the important time suck in your life. You think that everything you're doing on Twitter is more important than exercising. But in my opinion, being physically fit equals being happier in life, being content with yourself, with your vision, with the way you see yourself mentally, which being more content makes you more happy. And if you can take 10 minutes out of your business and put 10 minutes into exercising, then you're going to find yourself more focused, more energetic with your business. There are goals that go into other goals. Being physically fit goes into having the mental capacity to be able to adapt to every single business strategy and situation that you get put into, because being physically fit requires a daily adaptation to what you're doing. It's really easy once you've been working to lose track of where you're at. Say you've been doing your 10 minutes every day, you've been walking 1,000 extra steps every day, and then now it's your friend's birthday. So you go to your friend's birthday and you're sitting there on the couch playing video games or watching TV all day for his birthday, and you forget your 1,000 steps and you start to lose track of where you want to be. This is a very tight spot to get yourself into, because as soon as you miss one day, a gear in your mind turns and it says, oh, okay, well, I missed this day, so I can miss the next day too. Or maybe it doesn't say I can miss the next day, but 6 days later, it's like, well, I already missed Monday this week, so there's no reason for me to do today as well with my exercise. I mean, it's not going to be a full week anyway, so it really doesn't matter, right? Once you get to this point, it's very, very important to realize that that's where you're at. And to see that and to do the inner work inside of yourself to say, no, I missed this one day and that was entirely my fault, but I'm not going to miss another day. It's important to get there and to not beat yourself up for missing that one day. It happens sometimes. Staying on track is hard, especially with how busy we are these days. If you've got 20 things you do every day, it's hard to make room for one extra thing that you do. When you fall off of track completely, say you miss that one day and 6 days later you miss that next day, and then the next week you miss a couple days, and before you know it, it's been a year since you've gone to the gym. What do you do at that point? At that point, it's a lot harder to get back on track. It's almost like you're afraid to go to the gym because you think deep inside of yourself, you're like, if I would have went to the gym for this whole year, I could have been there, I could have lost my 50 pounds, I would be a lot healthier, a lot happier. So going to the gym right now is stressful. It is something that triggers this agitation inside of me. So how do you get past that point? The potentially positive future that you missed is not more important than the potentially positive future that could happen if you start going to the gym right now. If you don't start going to the gym right now, then you're gonna get the negative future. That's important to realize and to think about that and let that marinate. Be like, okay, what I'm actually saying is pushing me away from where I want to be. I don't want to go to the gym because I don't want to know where I'm at right now, because I could be at a much better place. I don't want to go to the gym because that's just going to make it that much more real. You just got to do it. You just got to go. You got to tell yourself, okay, I'm going to go. I'm going to see where I'm at. And you use that to motivate you to push yourself harder and to not miss the next day, to not miss the next month or the next year, and to go every single day. And you use that motivating factor and you grow stronger. Once you try your first time, you are not going to succeed. You have to fail to succeed. You have to know what happens if you don't make it to be able to make it. That's how life works. So if you are trying to succeed in a goal, then first, you're gonna fail. And that's hard to say because it sounds negative. But if you don't mentally know how your mind is gonna work when you want to do something, and you don't want to do something at the same time, then you're not going to be able to push yourself to just see it through and do it. So if you fail, don't sweat it. Instead of visualizing where you could be right now, visualize where you're going to be once you go to the gym today. And of course this applies with everything else. Not just the gym, this applies with everything else. Business, music, art, anything, you name it. This goes with that too. So the important thing with setting goals is to stay on track. And if you fall off a track, to get back on track. Just don't get discouraged if you fail. If you mess up, don't get discouraged. Instead of using that energy for discouragement, use that energy for motivation to push you, to have you keep going. That's important. That's so important. Once you get to that point when you can change that energy from discouragement to motivation, is when you can get to the point where you can really start accomplishing what you want to accomplish in life, and you can see your vision powerfully and manifest your vision all around you. But don't work yourself too hard right off the bat. I know you want to say, if I'm going to lose 50 pounds in a year, well, I can just start this month and lose 10 pounds this month. It's not going to work that way. You have to slowly get yourself used to it, or you're just going to burn yourself out. You're going to start going to the gym, and you're not going to feel it. After a month or so of going to the gym, and you only lose 5 pounds instead of the 10 pounds, you're going to be like, well, I gave it a good try, I gave it my best, but it's just not going to happen. Which is why you've got to start small. You got to start with 2 pounds, and then maybe go to 4 pounds, and then maybe go to 5 pounds. And you got to work yourself up. Just don't get discouraged. And remember to prioritize everything. All of the distractions around you, minimize them and prioritize what really is important for you to do, what aligns with your life purpose. For example, if you want to learn how to play guitar, but you're on the path right now to be a programmer, then maybe the hour that you would spend learning how to play guitar should be spent watching YouTube videos about being a programmer and learning how to type 150 words per minute in a year, going from 120 words a minute to 150 words a minute. You should watch those YouTube videos. Re-say that whole thing. For example, if you want to be a guitarist, you want to be like the best of the best guitarists, you know, I want to be the next Jimi Hendrix. But currently, my life purpose is to be a programmer. That's great. So maybe instead of playing guitar for an hour, you should spend that hour learning how to type faster so you can type 150 words per minute in a year when you're at 120 words per minute right now. And you can allot yourself 10 minutes in the day to play guitar. That's great. Like me right now. I'm a musician. I love music. I love playing guitar. But I'm so busy in my days right now that I think it's not as important for me to play guitar as it was. I still give myself 5 or 10 minutes to play guitar, but I used to give myself 2 or 3 hours or more time to play the guitar because that's where I thought I needed to be. But right now, there's a million plus things that I want to do. I want to get done. I want to make these YouTube videos. I want to push out good content for you guys. I want to motivate everybody. I want to inspire everybody. There's a ton of things that I want to do, plus working a full-time job. I only have so much time in the day, so I can only allot myself about 10 minutes time to play the guitar, and it's not as scary as it sounds. You're gonna think, well, if I only give myself 10 minutes on my hobby, then I'm gonna be a robot. You know, life doesn't matter. I mean, if I'm not gonna give myself fun time, then what does that matter? But marketing, I enjoy the social media. I enjoy thinking about all of these topics, all these abstract topics that I present to you guys. I enjoy it. That is my hobby now, and that is also what I want to do as my side business. That aligns with my life purpose more than my guitar aligns with my life purpose, so I prioritize all of that over my guitar. And it's not that I'm completely sacrificing my hobbies. I'm completely content with the amount of time that I get to spend in guitar and singing and playing harmonica and any musical activity. I am completely content with the amount of time that I get to do that. And I can change it at any moment, and so can you. If you have a moment when you want to start doing something more than what you're doing, then maybe you should do that. Maybe instead of spending 3 hours a day going to the gym, if you're starting to get a little tired of it, you should only spend 2 hours a day going to the gym and play guitar. Besides, they say that it's a good idea to shock your body. If you shock your body with working out, then you're going to see gains later on. So if you're spending 3 hours at the gym and you take a break for a week, only going to the gym 2 hours, then the next week you're going 3 hours, you're going to start to see gains or losses again. Whatever you want to see, you're going to start to see that all over again. And the same thing works with this. Sometimes it's a good idea to mentally refresh you. It's like you get writer's block. I get the same thing with this content that I push out on Instagram every day and that I've been pushing out on YouTube as of now. I mean, it's only my second video, but I have a lot that I want to write and a lot that I want to say. a lot of my Instagram posts are going to go up on YouTube. So the important thing is to prioritize, as I've said a few times already. You need to know what you need to do, and you need to align it with your life purpose and to be content and happy, but don't take it all in one big leap. Take it in small steps. And the other important thing to realize is that there is so much more time in a day than what you think there is. I promise you that. If you start getting healthy, eating healthy, being fit, being mentally active, then you're going to start being able to see that there's a lot more that you can do in a day than you think you can. And as much as this sounds terrible, you start to realize you don't need as much sleep as you did before, because you have so much more energy. Even when you wake up, you can go on 4 hours of sleep and you'll have so much more energy than you did previously on 10 hours of sleep, because you are treating yourself right and you are doing what you want to do, and you are so perfectly aligned with where you want to be. You have so much energy. You're so content because you know where you're going to be. You have that visualized, and you know what's going to happen once you keep working at your dreams. So from there, you have to realize that there is a lot of time that distractions will suck up. For example, watching TV shows. TV shows can be great. Documentaries, how it's made stuff, History Channel. Those can be great. They'll help you with common sense. They'll help you with history. They'll help you with philosophy a little bit. They'll help you with sociology. They'll help you with so many different things. But can you spend that time doing something better? Maybe instead of watching TV, you could spend that time watching YouTube videos about how to grow yourself. And instead of watching cat videos on YouTube, maybe you should watch videos about self-development. Or instead of watching movies, maybe you should read psychology books and start to do that inner work inside of yourself. And the other thing is, you can master so many different things that you didn't know you could master. And once you start doing this work, you'll start to see that. You can become a master cleaner. Instead of taking 3 hours to clean your entire house, you spend 30 minutes and your whole house is spotless. And that's 2.5 hours a day that you just saved because you are now a master cleaner. So mastering simple tasks is another way that you can get more time in the day. Reducing distractions, mastering simple tasks, and doing all of this will give you more time to work on your dreams and your goals, and before you know it, you're going to be perfectly on that path to where you want to be, and you're going to start to feel content all over again. So start that today, start that routine today, and put the pieces into place to start snowballing towards the goal, the dream, the vision that you want to achieve with your life. You can if you spend the time working at it. Anything is possible. Make sure to visualize. Thank you guys for watching.